All right, welcome back. So, hopefully, everybody had a chance to get some drinks, you know, use the bathroom, get some snackage. So, the first hour of the build, I went over two of my characters. What I'm doing is I'm bringing in each one of my characters and I'm showcasing their homes that I've built. So, currently, we are at Raven's Nest. Raven's Nest is located up here in the Blackmire on top of this tree right here, which on the map doesn't look big, but this place is big. It's huge, actually. Okay, so this is the main login point. I think maybe a month or two ago, I revamped this entire area to make it more spacious and more friendly looking to my NPCs. So we got Crowley here, and then Crowley's got his own room right here. And then the carpenter has his, and then the blacksmith, and then this is where they all hang out, do all their cooking. Of course, being guys, they love having meat, and pie. So we got the stove going, the oven's going. You know, there's a ham in the oven. We got vegetables in the basket because, you know, you have to have your vegetables occasionally. And then over here's their bathroom. All right. And then we have our resident, which I had to make a special opening just for him and then lower his platform down into the flooring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the front of this place so you can see it. All right, so this is where my property line starts at, and then you can see I actually have some Ewoks that live right beside me. They've never come over to visit, but you know they're there. So I use all of this space for planting and stuff. Trees. I've got a barn over here. And then this tree actually grew into this platform. The tree wasn't there. I planted it, and then it overtook. I mean, it's yeah. There's three pumpkins up there. One of them's inside of the tree. Nice thing I like about this place is I have my own copper mine, and it goes back in quite a ways. I also have my own clay mine as well. Okay, dokie. So we have the queen over here. And then we have my little personal garden set up. And then I have a little outdoor gazebo down here on the ground floor. Alright, so let's go into the main door, which is open. And then you can see my subscribe button or sign up there. And then when you look up, you can see how high up this tree is. And then I actually have my own ship up there. Right there. And we'll go into that when we go inside. Alright, let's close the door. So this is the grand foyer. Okay. Where all of my subjects will come to see me when I'm here at this place. This is also the character that I used to make the fort, the castle and fort up in the summit, which we'll go see. But this is my trophy room for this character. And to put the weapon sets down. Huh? Oh, okay. Thank you, Sylvian. And then, you know, when you have conferences and stuff like that, you know, you come out here, sit at the table. So, yep, I like this room. One of the few times I use the well blocks. I do like the well blocks. Don't get me wrong. I do like them. I just don't use them very often. All right, and then we have 3 dragons. 1, 2, and 3. All right, we come up to the first floor. This is my personal study. And then I turned this, my bard lives here. And then, of course, you can see all of the weapons, the daggers, because, you know, bards, espionage, all that good stuff. Instruments are laid out, instruments on the shelves. And then, all right, so this is a secret door. There we go. All right, and then we would come over here, unload after doing our missions. And then here's a little private area to relax and reflect. And here we have the Huntress. This is her home. And then over here, we have the Alchemist with all of his magical books floating everywhere. All right, come upstairs here. We have another sitting area, and then this is a little area where you can plant flowers at and stuff, and pick fresh flowers to put on the tables. All right, here's the main kitchen. I have a whole section of wall that is missing. That's crazy. I'll have to fix it. I'm not going to fix it right now, but that is super crazy. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Crazy things happen in this game. We'll close that door. Okay, and then here is my room. And then I have my own little patio. And this is a emergency escape route. It goes down several flights of stairs and then out through that door so you can escape if you're being pursued. Come on, Dougie. Come on. Yep, get out of there. And then Emily sleeps in this bed over here. And then I updated this bathroom in one of my latest videos. Alright, so now we'll go upstairs. Sorry, I have to get a drink of water. Yes. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, now we come up here. So I have a treehouse swimming pool. I'm like the Beverly Hillbillies. I got my own pool inside of my house. And then I use the statues as braces over this window. I also have a hot tub with pitchers that have water pouring out. And then, of course, there's somebody sitting in the hot tub enjoying a spot of tea. I have my own masseuse over here where I can come and get a massage. Okay, and then this is actually a dedication to my two favorite hairstylists in Texas. And I have a video on this as well. And this is where I have our newest hairstylist, but I don't have his station set up yet. Alright, going upstairs from here, we have apartments. This is where I put all of my survivors at, and each room has fully functioning. Some rooms are bigger than others. Some of them have their own balconies. You know, some have full-size bathrooms, some don't. Just like you would see in an apartment or a motel, you know. Yeah, got some unfinished windows. All right, next floor up is my department store, which I'm missing a couple things. And then here's the store manager who can oversee everything that's going on. I have more things that I can sit there and put in here to sell. And the bathrooms for the department store. Okay, upstairs. This opens up into the restaurant called Cheers. And it's my interpretation of the television series. Shout out to Shelley Long. So, bunch of sitting areas. Everybody's happy. This is the schedule board for the airship. And here's my airship, which is fully equipped. Ticket taker. And then he directs you to your seats. And then we have this gentleman loading flask and barrels and stuff. And you come up here. And then, of course, we have the captain's quarters and the dining room. And up top side, there's also a crow's nest that you can climb up into. This is the navigator or pilot. Okay, going up another level. I was actually inspired to do this build after seeing what Chisel Chip was working on. And it just keeps growing, you know. This is another room. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. something will come up, or somebody will give me a suggestion, and then I'll end up building it. Thank you.
Sylvian says, I remember you asking for advice
Mm-hmm.
on this floor.
Yes. All right, and this is Mi Yin's huge studio, which I will eventually get her completely equipped. And by the way, this is my dagger build. She can rock and stomp with the best. Alright, we'll go up to this level. Apparently I'm still sticking windows in, or I had two disappear. One of the two. Probably still sticking windows in. Alright, and then I like this part out here. I decided I needed another gazebo. Like I don't have enough to begin with. Between gazebos and patios and stuff. Alright, another floor that I need ideas for. And then we come up. Yep, they're going to be quarters. Yeah, probably. And then this goes up to Yavin 4. So this is my overlook. This is as high as I can, well, as I can get, because that's the crown of the tree right there. So, yeah, I actually was able to build and get all the way to the top of this tree. Okay, so my next, this one that we're going to was my very first home on this world. This was called the Raven's Mansion. Had all my workstations inside.
She says that it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I have a floating cup. I don't know why I have a cup floating there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the. Oh yeah, okay. I got the full setup for the bathroom. All right. And then this is really pretty at nighttime. I like the view. My initial gardens. And then back this way, and a lot of times there's actually two wild boars that come out and appear over here. They're not always here. But this is as far as my property line goes. And there is another purpose to being over here. So I have that mine right there. And then just over the edge over here, If you were to fly down to the lower part of the ground, there is actually a place right here that has a bunch of skeletons and stuff in it, but it also has shroud wood, and it's not in the shroud. Hi. Of course, the starter home that everybody usually makes. We'll head over to that. And it's just a simple starter home, nothing big. Okay, let's see here. We'll go over to my dust bowl. You start seeing the bird terminology. I actually had hirelings, survivors stationed in all of these places. All right. So this one, you can see, I did not do that, but they cut all the way around it. All right, so now let's go up to the big build. The big build, Dragon Castle. It's not Raven's Castle, it's Dragon Castle. Okay, in outside of my treehouse, I think this is probably the largest build. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to start at the top and work downwards. But here's my throne. And then here's the royal court in session. Nice little cozy seating area. Okay. The hirelings never used to be able to navigate these benches as stair steps, but they can do so now.
She loves your treehouse and castle.
Thank you, Sylvan. All right. This is my library. Oh, Hannah's up here. Okay. Now, to display the headpieces, you literally have to take a mannequin and use XYZ and stick them inside at an angle. That way the headpiece shows, but the mannequin does not show through the bookshelf. Alright, so that's the library. Because what castle doesn't have a library? Alright, this is where some of the survivors in the castle live. This is the master bathroom on this level. And then believe this is unassigned. Yes. Nice thing is if I ever decided to open my world to let people come on to play, there would be plenty of sleeping rooms. Alright, so this is my bedroom. And then what I did for the desk is I used the shelf, I put the shelf in first, and then I used the lower cabinets that you would find in the kitchen and put one on either side of it. Then that way I have, this type of desk set up. This is my personal bathroom. Got my oils, incense, perfumes, body washes. Now I do still get, even though my walls are 2 layers thick, I still get the blow through sometimes, which is kind of odd. Oh, man, these guys just get around everywhere. And another repeat room over here. Okay. All right, now this is the dining room. All set for the grand feast. In and outdoors. And castle style kitchen. Even has its own well inside. And then we have a little private garden out here. Oh wow, that sign is old. 1480. I'm at 1710 right now for subscribers. Okie dokie. So these doors come out to another patio area that loops around this level of the castle. Kind of an illusion. It wasn't the initial entry to the castle. Let's put it that way. And then I liked the idea or concept of this being a very rough, rugged, workstation, workplace. And then the guys that are assigned to here all live up here. And as you can see, they all have free range of the place. Alright, we have a couple of ways to get off this level. So we're going to go down this way. Alright. And then we're going to go up this set of steps first. Alright, so this is the armory. This is the headquarters for the soldiers. And the captain of the guard.
What is the floor kitchen
What's the what now?
What is the floor block in your workshop? What is the floor you need from me?
Oh, the flooring in the workshop. Yeah. Do I have any of it?
Did you see use your mallet and pick up a piece?
Well, I gotta go back up to it.
You can just break it out with your finger.
Yeah, I'm going to. It's the fancy stone block. So that one there. And I like that. I mean, it looks great because it's like wood shavings all over the flooring. You know, it looks like what you would see, you know, in a ancient castle floor. I was almost tempted to use that throughout the castle. Okie dokie. My hirelings get around in this place, I tell you. So we have cooking stations for them, and then over here we have a very large multi-toileted, multi-shower, multi-tub bathroom for all of the soldiers. And then we can come out this way and come down. And this man, he's been so bad, he's actually overhanging a pit.
She says yes, it is stinky on the floor.
Yeah. And then this is the prison inside of the castle. This is the intake officer. And then room for storage of clothing and personnel and stuff like that. And then we got a few people in here. I should put him inside of one. He gets around too much. And then, of course, these doors are open. And this guy here probably picking up the waste product. So, I guess it would be the equivalent of being on work release. Okay. So now, we're going to take a shortcut. Boom. Because we came up that one. So now we're going to go down. This is the crypts, and there is an entryway up here at the top from the castle to get down to the crypts through that door there. And then this opens up. If I wanted to put a door in here, this opens up to the prison. Alright, so this is the crypt, and this is this stone is the weathered stone block. That one right there. And it literally every so often puts out bones. So I thought it was very appropriate for the crypt. We have either a resting soldier playing hooky, or he's getting ready to be put into the crematorium. And then, of course, these vases are the remains of people who have been cremated. Of course, you would have the former king, you know, and then probably the queen and offspring. And then this is the former royal captain of the guard. and then probably prestigious members of the court. And then another way to get back up into the castle and to go over to another area. Alright, so from here, we are going to go down these stairs, and Sylvia Dryad's going to recognize this area, because this is her right here. She was like my 5th or 6th subscriber. So, yep. But this is, and I think I was probably the very first person to ever make a underground park. I know the underground park has been done by a couple other people and currently being done by some other people at this point. But I think I was the very first one to monopolize that concept. All right. So now, and everybody in here, as far as mannequin wise, is a subscriber. And then it goes down even further, but I haven't done anything.
She says she loves it, thank you.
You're welcome. I haven't really done anything more down here other than to this spot. I put in, some stairs and stuff. Let's go back up and around the outside of this place. Alright, so there's Mr. Dragon, who's not very happy because, his head has been mounted on the outside of my castle. Here's the entrance to the castle's first guardhouse. And then, of course, we have tribute to the Queen. A couple different directions we can go. And yes, the trophy extraordinaire. Alright, and then we go over this way. Like I said, this place is huge. Instead of running all the way out and around, I am just going to jump. Alright, so we got people keeping snow off the roofs and stuff. This is the other way that you would come up from the main entrance. And then we have a lighthouse tower over here. We even have a couple people sleeping. Oops. Got myself turned around. Alright. Come down these stairs. And I like the placement of the blocks and stuff with the illumination. And then we have the farm. Oh my goodness, poor animals. Might as well make sure everybody's got food. And the workshop for the farm. All my straw and hay and stuff. And then, of course, I have another lift to bring things up. And my chickens. Now, obviously, there are animals that I don't have over here. I don't want to upgrade him. I like the little animals. All right, so that is pretty much it for this character and all of her homes. So we'll change. And then Yolanda. Yolanda is my very, very first ever character in this game. So I've showcased this place before on several videos. I recently stole some chest from this place to take over to Yami's world. He's a hothead. See, he's got a flame in his head. And he's got...
What is your favorite character?
I'm going to say Yolanda is. She's my heavy-hitting fighter. So...
What's your favorite build?
I'm going to say it's the fighter. Because I have two fighters now.
No. Build.
Oh, my favorite... Oh, my goodness. Wow. My favorite build. Oh, my goodness. I would say it was probably Dragon Castle. Yeah, definitely. Dragon Castle. You can see there's a skull inside of his mouth. And then he's got a serious case of indigestion. That's a small brazier that I lifted up into him. Don't do that. You're going to break things. And then everybody has their own little house down here in the basement. We have a nice little bar. It's the main kitchen. First floor bathroom.
Color yes.
Yes. Got a kitty cat stuck in the bookcase. Why won't you come out of there? Crazy cat. And then this is her throne. And the bard lives here. And then Emily's room. And then going upstairs, this is the dining room for the servants, as well as a small library for them and a seating area. And they have their own bathroom through that door. Mi Yin's place, and she has her own patio. Spare bedroom. And the barber. And then, of course, my trophy room. And then going upstairs. How many dragons have dangly earrings? And if you can see, he's got a pilot light. There's a little candle inside of his mouth. That's how he lights his fires. This is the upstairs bathroom. Now, this cabinet countertop has a globe block underneath each one of these windows. And then my personal dining room. This is done with the circular doors, and then the bookcases are recessed. Private kitchen. And then my room with all of my implements of war.
Does it glow at nighttime?
Yes, in the bathroom, yes, they do. Personal balcony. Alright, now we will go downstairs and go outside. And then when my friends come over to this world, they sleep in this room. Or one can sleep in that room and one can sleep in this one. Okay, we'll go out the main doors. So this home I have rebuilt, added to, probably about 4 or 5 times until I got this mansion built. And then I have a royal garden. And this is really pretty at nighttime when the world is set to nighttime to walk through here. I could see myself living here in real life in a place like this. All right, we'll start over here on this side. Little extension of the gardens. And we'll shut these doors. All right. So this is my holiday setting. My spouse and I were actually the very first people to ever create Christmas trees in the game of Enshrouded. I left mine up. And yes, that's a mannequin at the very top holding a candle. My, yes. I like my snowman. I think he's cool. Elf bowling. Yes, my spouse likes elf bowling. And this is my choir. And then all the Christmas packages. I had to leave this up year round. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. So, of course, the square down there is the bowling ball. And, yeah. I think Elf Bowling was one of the first games I ever played. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was on a floppy disk. Do what? My ancientness is showing. Yeah. And yes, I got to update this sign too. It's at 1550 plus. Yes, you can grow trees on the side. I have proven that by doing this. This was an experiment to see if what I could grow on a wall. Because I wanted, at one point, and I don't remember where I was going to do it at, I was going to do a land bridge made out of trees. So this is where the home is for all of my survivors again. Yes.
What is Yolanda's favorite clothes? Outfit,
Oh, you mean cosmetic outfit like what I'm wearing now? Or
she asked what your favorite clothes are for Yolanda.
probably the Mountain Shadow set. And then I have 2 rings of the Ancients equipped to this person. And then
What's your cosmetics?
my cosmetics, that is the Flame Pact. And this is, if you have the ones, they have the little diamond on them that you can color. Because if the cosmetics don't have the diamonds, you can't color them. Don't know why. Yep. And then you can see this is the village area. And then this is the farmer's house. Oh, these guys need some food. I'll have to make more food later. Crazy animals. All right, now what I did was, in possibly gross, I don't know, but I grew up on a farm. Okay, we had cows, we had pigs, we had chickens, we even had a couple horses. All right, there is always droppings everywhere. So what I did is I put like 3 or 4 hazelnut trees out here and let them grow. And then I cut them down. And when you cut them down, they drop the hazelnuts. Well, you can use your imagination as to what the hazelnuts are supposed to represent. And then this is the farmer's house.
Hello.
Hello there. Let's see here. This character has another home up here. This is in the biggest tree in the Blackmire Forest. So it's literally located above the quest chain for the drum for the bard. That's how high up I am that I was able to build in this tree. Now, I have taken quite a bit of things out of here. I just need to put them back in. My humor at the fact that you're so high up in the tree, no one would know that you're taking a shower or using the facilities. And then originally I was going to put more homes in up here because these branches are just huge. All right. Yes, it is actually. Yeah. As soon as I materialize, let me go to it here and see. Oh, okay. So that is tinted. Well, it's the 3 shades of green. It doesn't say what it is. It just gives a picture. It's 3 shades of green. And then the gloves and the boots are the 3 different shades of the, I don't know, brown color. So I would literally have to go to the cosmetics, which I can here in a moment. So this is one of my other homes. Hmm? Oh, awesome!
No, she didn't say that, but I'm guessing.
Okay.
Should ask her.
So are you making a mannequin of me to put onto your world? Okay, and then I think this character has a home in the silver mine. Yes, I do. Alright, so this was the largest home I was able to build in the Shroud by just taking my time waiting for the ebb and tide of the Shroud to move.
She laughed.
Because it flows. It's really weird. It's the craziest thing, but it flows.
She said you will have to see.
I'll have to see. Okay, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see here. Let's go back here, and then I can tell you what colors. Where did I? Oh, yeah, it's here.
It's classified.
It's classified information. I love it. Okay, let's see here. So it's verily verdant. Verdant is the color on the pants and the top. And then the Harvest Festival for the gloves and the boots. Yeah. All right, and this is an excellent spot to sit there and stop. When we come back, I have two more characters. My last two, I promise. So we'll cover them in their homesteads when I come back from taking a 3 to 5 minute break. Thank you, everybody who has been able to stay on and watch up to this point. Like I said, look up Lucy the Bold to see my videos.